Hey there. So, what are you guys passionate about? What piques your interest? What takes what What are you most passionate about? What do you spend all of your extra time doing? Can you make that into career? Uh, if it's video games, you might try something more productive, or maybe there's even an avenue that way. But as you develop these skills um, and look for a profession, part of that thought process should be finding a mentor. Look at what you're passionate about. Learn all you can about this this passion you have. Read all the books you can get your hands on. Watch all the videos you can. Exhaust all the information you can find on the subject. Use all of your discretionary time to learn everything about the subject. Improve yourself. Become an expert in the field. Learn from the experts. It's like you're trying to stand on their shoulders. Eventually, if you put in the time, you'll find that you reach the limits of what people know about the subject. And that's where you step in and how you can add to that body of knowledge. It's growing very fast, but if you find a niche, however you want to say that, you can add your 2 cents and make a contribution to this world. And as you progress and you grow, God will lead you to people and mentors in your life that will help you in this field, help you learn more, help you become more, help you in your path. It's when I was growing up, I had a man that lived down the street from me that was influential. I enjoyed talking to him. He was always very open. He became a mentor of mine. He said, "Hey, come over anytime if you got some issues, problems, you want to discuss stuff, come over. I'd love to talk to you. Door's always open," kind of attitude. And he helped me a ton. Just having that option was, different parts of your life was amazing. So this mentor-mentee relationship is very vital, and you can have many people that are trying to mentor you in your life, and at the same time, as you grow and learn, you can also become a mentor to people lower than you, that don't have the knowledge that you have. What a great opportunity, as you take on that role to give back some of that information that you've been gifted with. And so I think that role can change back and forth many times in your life. As you become mentored, you can become the one doing the mentoring. So, of course, God expects you to continue to grow each day of your life and become a mentor for somebody else. But there's two examples I wanted to give you in this relationship between a mentor and a mentee. Months ago, part of my job where I was at was to develop relationships with builders and real estate agents to advance the bank's products and to get more people using our products and loans. And so I went to lunch with a builder, a very successful builder. He was doing a lot of business, but when we were at lunch, he told me kind of his story of how he got into it and people that helped him. He said, as a young man, he spent a lot of his extra time researching and learning, but eventually part of his research and learning more, he learned who were the best builders in the community, and he picked one guy in particular who he thought was the best builder in town. And then he set his mind on getting an internship or a job he told me point blank, he said, it was never about the money. He said, I didn't care if the guy paid me or not. Matter of fact, I probably would have paid him, which would have been a better education in that trade than going to school for 4 years. Better on the job, real life experience than going to college for him. There are paths that include college, but in this case, the trades, a lot better to have real life on the job training. So he said, he couldn't have gotten to the place where he was at without this guy's help. And this guy took him on, and he trained him, and he passed on a lot of his knowledge. There are people out there that find a lot of joy and happiness and fulfillment on helping other people to gain what they have and then to move higher. So this guy became very successful as a builder because someone was willing to take him on and mentor him. Very important. Make that part of your plans, your career planning. There's another example number 2. One of my sons, for reasons I don't quite understand, loves auto mechanics. I find it very frustrating and difficult, so I've never gotten into that. I've always paid somebody, but he does a great job. And it's kind of one of his passions. He likes the idea and he wants to make it a career. And so he's spent a lot of his own time, all of his extra time, he spends researching. He's bought all the books on becoming ASE certified, and he asked his mom to help him study those things. So he's trying to improve himself that way. And I admire his determination and all that this focus that he has. But part of his research and his determination has been finding somebody close by that can help take him on and mentor him. And so he did. He found somebody, a very successful, very knowledgeable guy in the neighborhood, younger guy, I think he's in his 30s, that was willing to take him on. And this guy is so proficient and he has a lot of expertise that's when some of these local mechanic shops can't diagnose, can't figure out what's wrong with the car, they'll call this guy in and ask him to look at it because he has a lot of knowledge and he's focused years and years and years of his time and efforts in learning the trade, learning how to diagnose cars. And with that knowledge comes a lot of value. He can command a higher wage because of his knowledge and all that he has to offer. And so, yeah, my son has been working with this guy, and I think he's paid him maybe $100, and he's worked for hours and hours and hours. And he told me, I told him, hey, it's not about the money. You're being educated right now. In most schools, you'd have to pay. So it's all about the training. Just latch on to this guy. Every time he calls, you jump out of bed or you salute this guy and tell him how much you appreciate what he's doing for you, because you are getting years and years and years of a head start by kind of downloading all this guy's information that he has to give, and he's glad to do it, glad to help. So he's being mentored. Another thing that he did that was uncommon, he had a couple job offers at different shops. One job offer was at a dealership, and he was going to be kind of pegged into just doing oil changes. And that was it. And they told him, well, maybe in a few years we could move you over if there's a spot open to become a mechanic. And they were going to pay him a pretty good wage. And then he had a second offer from another mechanic shop, which was a much smaller place. And I think it was like $4 an hour less. But they did very few oil changes, and they did mostly mechanical work in cars. And he came to me and said, what do you think? And I said, well, I think the decision's pretty obvious. Do you want to learn how to change oil, which you can do in like 10 minutes? Or do you want to focus on your goals and your dreams and take short term, less money? So a lot of things in life require that we take the lower seats, we take the less pay, because we have faith and trust. We know eventually those things will pay off, and it's worth the sacrifice, the short-term sacrifice, for the long-term gain. So remember that. Find somebody, and you'll have a lot of people through your life that are willing to help, willing to take you on as a mentor, to be mentored. And then eventually you'll have great opportunity to mentor others around you.